Thank you for this opportunity to speak at this glorious event. Very happy New Year to all of you. 2020, a year characterized by unforeseen crisis and unprecedented changes, is behind us. We look to 2021 with cautious optimism, as there is still a lot to be done. Today, I will share with you some of my views on the road ahead, the challenges that we are likely to face in various areas of trade and business, and the opportunities that lie before us, thanks to technology. Let us begin with a quick roundup of what we are likely to face in terms of policy and regulations in 2021 across various sectors, beginning with the topic in focus for many economists, India-China relationship. The Indian government took nationalist measures against Chinese interests throughout 2020 as a geopolitical reaction to border tensions. These included mandatory government approvals for all foreign direct investments coming from entities incorporated in countries sharing a land border with India, including China and by extension, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Macau. Bans on the use and download of over 200 Chinese mobile applications, and restricted Chinese involvement in public procurement, citing national security concerns. As it stands currently, all investments, whether direct or indirect, from entities which have Chinese, Taiwanese, Hong Kong, Macau, or other bordering nation beneficial ownership, irrespective of the percentage or quantum of investment, will require prior government approval. I'm of the view that these restrictions imposed by the government are retaliatory measures to put economic pressure on China and would be withdrawn only when the border tensions between India and China are resolved. According to recent reports, steps are being taken to consider and expedite approvals in cases where acquirers have minority investments from entities situated in these countries. Further, the government recently notified certain changes to the FDI regime, granting relaxations to investments from multilateral banks and funds. On complying with the mandatory approval requirements, while the relaxation will only benefit a limited set of investments, this is indeed a positive development. The global economy will surely have its eye on India and China and how they progress in terms of the geopolitical as well as trade issues. The government is surely looking to ensure a higher standard when it comes to ease of doing business and addressing investors' concerns on this front. That is definitely the focus here. The next area that I will touch upon is capital markets in 2021. One of the most significant regulatory developments expected this year is the establishment of a framework for the overseas direct listing of Indian companies. At present, the Indian government has, pursuant to a recent amendment to the Indian Companies Act, included an enabling provision allowing for public companies in India to get listed overseas. However, I should add, further regulatory changes are anticipated to relevant Indian laws to facilitate this overseas listing. This could be through the introduction of a separate regulatory framework, which will provide clarity on finer aspects of the process. Moving on now to another important topic, employment and labor. 2021 is likely to usher in a new labor law regime that would further steps being taken towards consolidating the many central laws into 4 labor codes: a code on wages, a code on security, social security, an industrial relations code, and a code relating to occupational safety, health, and working conditions. For employers, here's how life may change. Engagement of contract labor in an establishment's core activities would be barred, except in certain situations. Employees engaged for sales promotion and interstate migrant workers will have certain additional entitlements. On the cost front, employees may see some impact on their expenses towards social security contributions, gratuity, and severance compensation, as these computations may have to be calculated on at least 50% of the total remuneration paid to an employee. Besides formulation of additional schemes and funds for gig workers, and I'll come to it, and reskilling fund for regular workers. Overall, several matters may have been left to the central and the state governments to prescribe by way of rules and schemes. So, this year would therefore be an interesting period to look forward to on this front. Let us now discuss what lies ahead in the area of data privacy and data protection. In 2021, rapid developments are expected in the data privacy and data protection legal regime in the country. India's Personal Data Protection Bill, or the PDP bill, is modeled around the EU GDPR and is expected to be path-breaking development for India. This PDP bill includes aspects relating to rights of individuals, termed as data principles, aspects of cross-border data flow, grievance redressal, setting up of dedicated data protection authority, etc. Another development to watch out for is the health data management policy, a draft of which was released for comments from stakeholders in August last year. This policy aims to create a framework for the secure processing of personal and sensitive personal data of individuals. It is applicable to the entities involved in the National Digital Health Mission and the partners who are part of the National Digital Health ecosystem. It will be interesting to see how the policy develops given the amount of overlap in subject matter with the PDP bill. Given the overdrive on regulating technology, developments in the sphere of data-reliant technologies such as artificial intelligence, blockchain, Internet of Things or IoT, etc. may also be on the horizon this year. A few important areas we must look out for in 2021. On the media front, a framework for government OTT platforms and another for cloud service providers. On the taxation front, clarity on applicability of the equalization levy on non-residents and further guidance on digital economy taxation. On merger control, a size of transaction-based standard to ensnare digital economy transactions may become a reality. There could be clarity on permanent establishment aspects when it comes to MNCs, which have employees working from home across more than one country. These are just a few of the many major regulatory moves that one must keep a lookout for. Now that we have touched upon what is anticipated in 2021, let us move on to the topic that is at the top of the mind for every single employer in the world right now: the future of work. In the post-COVID world, the reality that the way we all work is undergoing a period of change has been front and center for every employee and employee in the global economy. Moving forward, what does this new way of working mean for companies and the people that make those companies? I would like to share my views on some of the major aspects that we must keep in mind while discussing the future of work. The most obvious one, the reality of virtual offices and remote working. And perhaps this is the most impactful. Companies across the globe are now reevaluating their strategies and policies in an attempt to figure out what is the best way to ride this remote working wave to ensure top-notch efficiency and productivity while reducing the costs of a physical office. Tech giants have already announced longer-term work-from-home options for employees. However, how will this trend translate to Indian businesses? We will have to wait and see how this plays out here. The striking of the elusive balance between ensuring high productivity and standards and reducing costs is bound to take some time. Throughout 2021, as the vaccine rollout has started to gather steam, we may see companies trying to return to pre-COVID way of working in some way, shape, or form. But I expect many will take their learnings from the lockdown, work from home period, and apply it to a new, more flexible way of working. What exactly will this reimagined way of working look like? Well, I'm as excited to see it as you are. The second, which I wanted to cover, was diversity. You see, a diverse workforce is an asset. This is something that many industry leaders take as fact now. However, there is still a lot to be done in terms of equal opportunity, equal pay and representation. Companies across the globe have been working towards this goal for quite a while. And in India too, this is now a major area of focus for top firms. Remote workings bring with it the possibility of hiring more people with special needs into the workforce. With the introduction of new age technologies like artificial intelligence and blockchain, the process of looking for and hiring candidates can be made much more efficient and geared towards diversity and equality. I would like to revisit an International Bar Association report on the future of work, which I had the pleasure of contributing and coordinating with more than 70 countries around the world to discuss the influence of blockchain technology on the future of employment. Blockchain is essentially an encrypted electronic ledger of, amongst others, transactions, agreements, and contracts that are required to be independently recorded and verified. Each block is time-stamped, and all data is confirmed anonymously in a record of events that is spread across several parties and permanently saved. As this ledger is decentralized and does not have a central point of vulnerability, it is secure from external attack. Although Indian regulators such as the Reserve Bank of India still do not approve cryptocurrencies, the recognition of blockchain technology as a way to improve the functioning of various sectors could be seen as a positive step. Even private individuals, private companies, and startups appear to have increased their demand for talented blockchain developers despite regulatory uncertainty. As it is distributed across several computers around the world, blockchain provides access to an up-to-date version of the ledger to everyone on the network and ensures utmost transparency. This gives rise to many uses of blockchain technology in the workplace. Let me cover just a few very quickly. Blockchain-enabled CVs. You see, blockchain tech creates a medium to bring together information from various sources in a single place. I mentioned this earlier, and this technology will thus help to reduce information asymmetries and outdo CVs in the future. Equal pay and equal opportunities at work for various reasons, including maternity absence, higher tendency towards part-time work and working from home. Women are often paid less than men around the world. The transparency offered by the open ledger qualities of blockchain can lead to increased transparency in remuneration for both women and men. Finally, about gig workers and how it can facilitate payment for a cross-section of gig workers. Most workers in the gig economy suffer from wage penalties, lack of income, and job insecurity. Additionally, payment of salaries is difficult as the workers themselves often have to pay the charge for cross-currency payments. Such payment transfers can be completely eliminated and internationalized to any currency through a blockchain-based cryptocurrency transfer, facilitated by instant verification qualities of the technology. I can go on, but since I'm coming to the end of my slotted time, I would finally like to touch upon how India's legal industry landscape is shaping up in the post-COVID world and the biggest challenges our industry faces. The legal services market is a buyer's market in India. It means that we need to serve a very informed, savvy, and demanding set of clients that keep us on our toes. To effectively deliver quality legal services means that we need to have talent, the skills, the infrastructure to meet their demands and needs consistently and efficiently. We are dealing with a new generation of lawyers who have a different take on what they see from the profession. And we have to invest in newer ways of training and mentoring them to be skilled and client-oriented legal professionals. We need to leverage technology and all available platforms and resources to reduce inefficiency and deliver value to clients. Lawyers are now not only expected to know the law, but also to understand the client's business, their commercial and strategic objectives and priorities, their risk appetite, and even what they leave unsaid to ultimately advise on and implement business solutions. This means servicing less clients, but deepening relationships. As far as opening up the legal market to international law firms is concerned, it does not, to my mind, seem to be around the corner as of now. However, in our view, it will be a welcome move and it would enhance the quality of legal services being offered here in India. Ladies and gentlemen, these were some of the crucial things that we must keep an eye on as we navigate 2021. In conclusion, I would like to say thank you. I would like to add that though 2020 has been a tough year for all of us in many, many different ways, 2021 offers a ray of hope. Even as global industry is cautiously optimistic, I cannot help but look towards the rest of this year with renewed zeal and positivity. The last year taught us the value of empathy, and going forward, empathetic leadership, even in business, will be what propels you and me and us forward. Well, if you want to reach out to me and want to learn about my primary sources for my presentation, or just want to connect with me, please feel free to email me or reach out on LinkedIn. Thank you very much for all your time. Take care and stay very safe.